Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, the number of homicides in Kern County keeps ticking up. Another man killed overnight. A look at the latest numbers as officers search for the shooter.
A free pop-up testing site for coronavirus today as public health continues to urge people to get tested. We'll have the latest case numbers from over the weekend.
In 15 days until the election, President Donald Trump and Vice President Joe Biden focus in on swing states. We'll have the latest on where the candidates stand in the polls. This is Monday, October 19th, 2020. Good morning. It is 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen here alongside Taylor Shaw, who's in for Alex Fisher this morning. And it was a really beautiful weekend, even though we saw a little bit warmer temperatures.
Yeah, my mom was in town this weekend. We tried to make it out to Wind Wolves. The air quality wasn't great, but it was nice to be outdoors again. I just love being outdoors, especially Wind Wolves.
Yeah,
right now.
Especially in the fall time, because we're not dealing with those triple digits, so we're grateful for that. Let's see what we're looking at as we head into the work week. Kev?
Well, yesterday we were in the 90s, and today we'll slip things back just a degree or two, so not a major cool down, still remaining above normal for this time of year. And we're also going to be watching the air quality, which really hasn't been in our favor. And taking a look at the real-time readings right now, we're moderate in most locations. Shafter unhealthy for sensitive groups at 102, along with Kernville. And these numbers will worsen as we go throughout today, and we'll still see that haze, and air quality in general for all of the valley will be unhealthy for sensitive groups. Now our temperature 70 degrees right now, an east wind at 7 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast for you today, we'll be right near 70 by 9 a.m. and then you can see those upper 80s as we progress into the afternoon. Starting out in the day, upper 50s for Tehachapi right now, west-northwest wind at 9. And as we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast here, you can see throughout the day we will be warming you up back into the upper 70s and wouldn't rule out a few lower 80s out there as well. More on your pinpoint forecast. That's coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Kevin. New information this morning in a fatal shooting in South Bakersfield. Deputies responded to a call of a man down with a gunshot wound around 9:45 last night at the corner of Jastro Avenue and Padre Street. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says the man was found with a gunshot wound. KCSO says deputies attempted to save his life, but he died at the scene. The name of the man has not been identified as of right now, and as of right now, there has been no description released either. To our count, at least 107 homicides have taken place in Kern County this year. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 861-3110 or the secret witness line at 322-4040. And a man was taken into custody accused of assault with a deadly weapon. It happened just before 11 last night on the 8900 block of Wheatgrass Avenue, just south of Ridgeview High School. The Bakersfield Police Department says they responded to calls of gunshots fired in the area. There were no injuries reported. The name of the man who was taken into custody has not been released. And one person is dead off an off-road crash. The California Highway Patrol says the crash happened just before 8:30 last night in Caliente, between Bakersfield and Tehachapi. Authorities have not released a description of the vehicle or the driver as of right now.
Multiple fires broke out this weekend, the first at the former Logans Roadhouse on California Avenue. This is the aftermath of that fire, which engulfed the former Logans Roadhouse restaurant early Saturday morning. As of now, we don't know what ignited the fire, but we do know the restaurant has been closed for some time and was boarded up when the fire started. No injuries were reported. The Kern County Fire Department was on scene early to put out the flames, and we spoke to one woman who says the location meant more to her than just your average restaurant.
Every Friday night we come in, they're family. This wasn't just people, they were family. And to see it like this, I didn't think it would be such a big deal to see it burn down, but it is. Truly heartbreaking.
And just hours earlier, a structure broke out in flames in central Bakersfield. Here's a look at this fire near the intersection of 6th and P Streets. The Bakersfield Fire Department responded to a report of the blaze just after 6:15 Saturday. Officials confirmed no one was hurt in this fire. The home was not occupied at the time. First responders didn't say what started it, but officials say the incident is under investigation. Yesterday in Tehachapi, the city's wastewater plant lost power due to a brush fire that broke out near the facility. The fire broke out around 5 last night along railroad tracks near Meadowbrooks Park. This is a point of view from the Kern County Fire Helicopter 408, which made 12 water drops to help ground resources with the flames. The city of Tehachapi said the water plant's backup generators turned on immediately after the power was knocked out and there was no loss of service. Power was restored shortly after 7 p.m. And here is some viewer video of that fire from the ground, which broke out along the railroad tracks near the park and headed east. City staff was on scene at the water plant to ensure operations were not affected.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic here in Kern County. Public health officials reported 75 new cases with no new deaths yesterday. To date, the virus has cost the lives of 410 people in Kern County. Over 10,000 are recovering from the virus at home, while 25 are isolated in the hospital with more serious symptoms. Since the pandemic began 7 months ago, over 33,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19 in Kern County. Public health officials stressed one of the ways that you can help slow the spread and protect our community is to get tested, even if you're not feeling any symptoms. Today, a federally provided COVID-19 testing site is providing free tests at Noble Park. The testing site will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pre-registration is required, but a limited amount of walk-ups will be accepted. For more information, you can visit doineedacovid19test.com.
5:06 is your time now. A local art exhibit made a triumphant return this weekend, beating the odds and bringing some much-needed color to Southwest Bakersfield. 17's Gilbert Bernal has more on this year's Via Arte.
Hey, Gilbert Bernal here for 17 News. I'm out here at the marketplace for the Via Arte exhibit, which has traditionally brought Italian street art painting to the public since 1998. With the county recently moving to Red Tier, the Bakersfield Museum of Art was able to host this event for the community.
Well, coronavirus ruined almost everything in terms of getting together, but happily we were able to produce Via Arte again this year.
The Italian Street Art Festival brought a sight to sore eyes aching to get some art back into the picture. Art lovers shuffled through rows of artists grinding away with pigment, turning out vibrant images.
It's wonderful because the museum's been closed during COVID, and it's just great to be out here and see the artists at work, and it's my favorite event that they do every year.
Don't blend in the hair when it's
Oh, that's what you're, okay. Yeah.
Over 100 participants put in hours to create stunning works on asphalt.
I started yesterday at like 3 o'clock and I stayed here till about 9, and then today I got here at 8 a.m. So total hours, I don't even know how much that is so far, 15 or so.
Freelancers were finally able to showcase their talents after months of COVID restrictions.
We were uncertain up to about 4 weeks ago, and then we all got the email saying we got the green light. So I just want to thank them for letting us come out this year.
Illustrators worked with an array of colors to pay homage to pop icons that have recently passed.
She was an amazing woman, and her passing is a huge loss for our country. So honoring her in any kind of way is an honor for me. So hopefully I can do her justice today.
Art enthusiasts were treated to a local tradition, but not without the all-familiar face masks and social distancing rules.
We were working towards making this event happen, but we finalized all restrictions just a month out this year. It does look very different. All of the squares are spaced out. Typically we have much larger squares, but in an effort to keep the capacity lower this year, we just unified all of the squares.
The Italian Street Art Festival brought many locals out craving art and entertainment following a lockdown on all public events. From the Via Arte exhibit for 17 News, I'm Gilbert Bernal.
We have some Roadwork notes for you this morning as you head out. Part of Panorama Drive will be closed this week for construction of a sewer tie-in for new land development north of the road. The closure will be between Juniper Ridge Court and Stone Canyon Street. It's expected to start at 8 this morning and last until 4 p.m. the next Monday, October 26th. Detours and alternate access points will be provided. And expect some lane closures along southbound Highway 99 starting tonight. The closures are set to run overnight from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. through Thursday at the southbound Ming Avenue off-ramp. The 2 outside lanes will be closed. The inside lane will remain open, but drivers who want to use the Ming Avenue off-ramp are going to instead be detoured to California. No closures are scheduled on the northbound side of the freeway.
Welcome back in sports news this morning. It's official. The Dodgers are headed to the World Series. Dodger fans in Los Angeles wasted no time celebrating after the team's thrilling Game 7 victory over the Atlanta Braves. Hardcore fans went to Dodger Stadium to watch the game in the parking lot on the big screen. I wonder if 17's Alex Fisher was there. Cody Bellinger hit a tie-breaking solo home run in the 7th inning last night, advancing the Dodgers to the Fall Classic for the 3rd time in 4 years. The Dodgers, who matched an LCS record with 16 home runs, overcame a 3-1 series deficit to win. The final score was 4-3. The Dodgers will face the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 1 of the World Series tomorrow. And Bakersfield's own Kevin Harvick dominated the track but couldn't take home the checkered flag this weekend. Harvick finished in 2nd place behind 1st place winner Joey Logano at NASCAR's series event at the Kansas City Speedway yesterday. Logano landed a championship 4 berth, scoring his 3rd victory of the season. He led 47 out of the 267 laps in the Hollywood Casino 400. Harvick led the most laps, 85, and crossed the start and finish line just 3 points off the lead of the checkered flag. Harvick's 2nd place finish was good enough for his own championship hopes. He now has a 41-point cushion over the elimination line with just 2 races left before the Championship Cup Series. That Cup Series is scheduled for Sunday at 12:30.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
5:24 now. The investing app Robinhood says some customers might have become a target of hacking. The tech startup says the issue did not occur from a breach of its systems, but rather customers' personal email accounts being compromised. A statement from Robinhood said the company was actively working with those impacted to secure their accounts. CNBC reports that hackers have turned to the dark web, where logins for accounts at major brokerage firms are listed for sale. Google's rolling out a bunch of new updates to make search easier to use. The most notable may be the hum to search feature. It's like Shazam, except you don't need to have any music playing. You can just hum, whistle, or sing 10 to 15 seconds of the song that's stuck in your head after tapping the mic icon on the search bar on your phone and saying, "What is this song?" The Google algorithm will identify potential matches, even if you're not exactly singing on key. Oh, thank goodness. Well, coronavirus has changed everything from the way we interact with people to how we spend our money. A North Carolina woman was thrust into finagling her finances when she lost her job earlier this year and discovered she didn't know what she was spending. Dan Sheneman has her story.
And I was just spending, haphazardly.
Social media strategist Courtney Canfield was laid off due to the pandemic, and that made her take a hard look at her spending.
And I was like, okay, something has to change here.
Canfield turned to an online tool called You Need a Budget.
So it gave me the opportunity to really go in and have a really detailed look at my expenses.
YNAB CEO Jesse Meekum says the company's goal is to help people be accountable for what they are spending.
We're not telling people to stop wasting their money. We're really telling them to be more intentional about what they want their money to do.
Knowing she needed to stretch her savings until she lands that perfect job, Canfield eliminated recurring charges and subscription services she didn't need or even use.
Every dollar really does have a job. It's not just like dollars exist. So that was a kind of like a wake-up call for me as well.
Removing go-to apps from her phone's home screen has proven to be a money saver.
I realized that I really had to delete it off my phone if I wanted to continue saving money.
Food delivery, also on the chopping block.
By the time I sign in, I'm not hungry anymore.
Discipline and working against the desire for instant gratification are getting Courtney closer to her financial goals.
By creating these barriers, I make myself stop and think.
Tough decisions in a year like no other. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
5:32 now, with more than 2 weeks till Election Day. President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden are spending nearly all their time in swing states that could make the difference. Tracy Potts has the latest on both campaigns and a new deadline for coronavirus relief.
Hi, Maddie. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. President Trump's in Arizona today. Joe Biden is scaling back his travel before Thursday's debate, but rolling out new ads in battleground states.
We're going to win the state of Nevada.
With 15 days to go, President Trump is defending his coronavirus response in battleground Nevada.
If I listened totally to the scientists, we would right now have a country that would be in a massive depression.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden in North Carolina.
This president cares more about his Park Avenue perspective on the world, the stock market, than he does about you, because he refuses to follow the science.
Coronavirus cases are soaring. Medical experts predict a tough winter.
The next 6 to 12 weeks are going to be the darkest of the entire pandemic.
America holding out for a vaccine.
The first tranche of people to get vaccinated really won't be protected from the vaccine probably till February and maybe March, and so that's a long way off.
The Trump campaign is defending the president's mostly maskless rallies.
People don't want to be living in fear again in their basements. We're going to be strong, we're going to be safe, but we're not going to be scared here.
Meantime, on Capitol Hill, the clock is ticking on COVID relief. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi set a 48-hour deadline.
The 48 only relates to if we want to get it done before the election, which we do.
Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin are at odds over money for states. They're set to meet again today. Another sticking point, testing and tracing. Pelosi claims the White House is watering down the language and taking out help for communities of color. No word, no response from the White House yet on that. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
All right, here at home, residents came out in droves to support their chosen presidential candidate as Election Day draws even closer. Yesterday in Tehachapi, Joe Biden supporters held a rally to support the former vice president's campaign. The rally took place at the corner of Tucker Road and Valley Boulevard. Organizers invited members of all parties who support the Biden-Harris ticket. Last week, a Biden-Harris billboard went up on Highway 58 between Tehachapi Boulevard and Mill Street off-ramps. As far as we know, it is the only large sign of its kind in all of Kern County. 17 News spoke to a woman about why she's supporting Biden.
I'm supporting Biden for a number of different reasons. One is I think he's the calm voice we need right now. I think he's for America, not just Joe Biden, not just a select group of people. I think he cares about and works for all of us.
And the day before, another rally took place at the same location. This time it was to support President Trump's re-election. This was the fourth rally for the president in Tehachapi since late July. Organizers of this event said around 800 people attended the previous Trump rally on September 26th. And in Bakersfield Saturday, an altercation at an event supporting President Donald Trump. A large group gathered at Emerald Cove Park to show their support for the president. Bakersfield police say the event was peaceful until a man got into an argument with somebody at the Trump rally. According to police, 35-year-old Aaron Anderson drew a paintball gun following the argument stemming from what was called a, quote, misunderstanding. Bystanders chased him away and Anderson fired into the crowd, leaving 2 people with minor injuries. Officers arrested him soon after charging him with 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Anderson was booked into a Kern County jail on felony charges with a bond set at $50,000. His next hearing is tomorrow at 3 p.m. The event advertised the sale of Trump merchandise as well as an outcry to recall California Governor Gavin Newsom. It was organized by the Patriots of Kern County, which brought along several guest speakers to address the crowd.
We reject all forms of racism. We hate racism, including racism against white people and discrimination against Christians. We are proud Americans first and foremost. We thank God each and every day for President Donald J. Trump.
And as election season ramps up, KGET is hosting 2 more live local debates at the congressional level. Candidates running for 2 seats in Congress will be in studio head-to-head starting tomorrow night with the 21st Congressional District, where Democratic Congressman T.J. Cox will face off against Republican challenger David Valadao, who wants his House seat back. Then on Wednesday night, it's the debate for the 23rd Congressional District. Bakersfield's Kevin McCarthy and his Democratic challenger Kim Mangon. All of that leading up to the next presidential debate this Thursday, former Vice President Biden and President Trump in Nashville, Tennessee. If you've been putting off registering to vote, it's time to stop procrastinating. The deadline is tonight. If you qualify, you have to register by 11:59 p.m. To register, simply go to our website where we've posted a link to the online registration portal. For those who have voted and are ready to drop off your mail-in ballots, the permanent drop boxes for mail-in ballots are available in the election office and outside of the county administrative building at 1115 Truxtun Avenue. Drop-off locations include Bakersfield College at Haley Street and Panama Drive, the Icardo Center at Cal State Bakersfield, as well as Kern County Library branches. Find the full list of ballot drop-off locations on our website, kget.com. 5:39 now in education news this morning. Local college students were given the task of tackling the issues surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, hitting social media to educate the community on safety measures to help prevent the spread of disease.
While you're out and about, don't forget to stay 6 feet apart. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. Wash your hands often for at least 20 seconds and be kind. Spread love, not germs. Thanks for watching.
Winner Yesenia Karufa is a senior at CSUB, majoring in communications with an emphasis in public relations. Karufa's winning video was about the use of the car caddy during the pandemic. Karufa and other students at California State University Bakersfield worked with Kern Public Health to participate in the COVID-19 video challenge. Students were asked to develop creative short videos for social media filled with safety tips and best practices for community members. Get ready, all of you ghouls and ghosts. The annual 17 News Sunrise Spooktacular is almost here. The event is happening online this year. You can enter pictures of your child's Halloween costume for your chance to win prizes from local sponsors. Those prizes include a gift card to Snyder's, a laptop, tickets to Murray Family Farms, and much more. Head to kget.com and click on the contest tab to enter by midnight, October 27th. So that's next Tuesday. You have just over a week to get your costumes together. Then tune in to Sunrise on October 30th to find out who the winners are and maybe see your costume featured here on Sunrise.
Welcome back. In your 17th Health Watch now, as illnesses and deaths related to alcohol continue to rise, a new study suggests setting a minimum price for drinks could help. Researchers in Canada looked at deaths and hospitalization data from Quebec in 2014, as well as local alcohol sales and pricing. Their models estimate that a minimum price of just over $1 per drink would have prevented nearly 6% of alcohol-related deaths. A $1.30 minimum would have cut deaths by 11.5%. Experts say that setting a floor price prevents the sale of cheap drinks with high alcohol content. New research suggests that sugar may play a role in ADHD, bipolar disorder, and aggressive behaviors. Scientists from the University of Colorado found that fructose lowers energy in cells, triggering a response similar to what occurs in starvation. In this case, that survival response simulates risk-taking, impulsivity, and aggressive behavior. The researchers say that this does not mean that sugar causes these behaviors, but it may just be one of the contributing factors. And a new study shows that women are less likely to put themselves at risk for COVID than men. Researchers in Italy surveyed adults in 8 countries, including the U.S. They found that women are more likely to consider COVID-19 as a very serious health problem. They're also more likely to agree with social distancing and fellow restrictions. And they're also more likely to follow the rules.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.